or MAU how to load master data manually using the function maintain master data. For this example, we are using the transaction codes RSA1, RSA14, SE11, SE16, RRMX, RSISET. So these are the transaction codes we are going to use for this example. Okay, now let's start. The first thing is you need to log into your SAP BW by selecting this option. For example, if you go to your desktop, you have to click on the SAP logon icon and you get the screen, and select your BI system, say logon, then you enter into this screen. Okay, you come to SAP Easy Access. The first transaction code we are going to enter is RSA1. Press enter. It will take to your info object screen, and this is your data warehousing workbench. Under modeling, we are under modeling screen. Okay, for this example we need to start creating the info object. What are the transaction codes for the info objects? RSA14. Okay, so if you go back here and type RSA14, press enter, you will reach to your info objects. So by default it will be selected. Now for this, what we have to do is, we have already some existing info areas, but we don't want to use them. We are going to create a new info area. So for that, right click on the top node screen. This is your parent node or top node, you can call. Click on create info area. Okay, I will show you again. Place your cursor here, right click, create info area. So I'm going to create the info area. Info area, this is your technical name. So I'm giving here class 1. This is my info area for class 1. You can press enter, or you can click on this continue. Bottom of the screen, you can observe your info area has been created. So you have successfully created the info area. Now what we have to do, we have to create the info objects. Okay, let's start creating the info objects. Before creating the info objects, in your previous classes we have learned how to create the info object catalog. So if you want to create the info objects, first we need to create the info object catalog. So select your info area, right click and select create info object catalog. So what are the catalog types we have learned? There are two types, characters and key figure. So initially we are creating info object for characteristic. So select your characteristics info object type, and now enter the technical name for this. Say info object salesman ID character. So characteristic info object catalog for salesman ID. Okay, now you have to press enter to make sure that it is created by you, the naming space. So cursor will be selected. Now click on create. So I have created the info area, and I created the info object catalog. So click on activate option. Your info object catalog has been activated. Now go back. This is your info object. Our aim is, what we're doing now here, we are loading the master data manually. So when I'm loading the master data, I need only the characteristic info object. I don't require the key figure, right? So now let's start creating info objects. Now select your info object catalog, right click, say create info object. This info object for whom? Salesman ID, SID 1. Okay, salesman ID 1. Say continue. Select the data type as a character and say the length is 5. Now select master data or text tab. You can observe there are 2 check boxes has been checked. If you see, you have a attributes tab here. If you uncheck this, attributes tab will be disappear. So make sure that you have selected with master data, so attributes tabs will display. Now we don't want to create any text here, so uncheck this. Now select the attributes tab where we have to create some attributes for this salesman ID. So let's start creating. So I need a salesman name. Create name, salesman name, press enter. I think it's already existed, so say 1. Salesman name is already existed. If you want to see that one, double click on it. It shows that there is already a salesman which has been created. Okay, so now select this row, say delete, say salesman name 1. Okay, now press continue, type description, select data type character, length 20, continue, then create age, say age 1, press enter, salesman age, data type numeric 2 digits, press enter, salesman address, press enter, salesman address, data type characters 20, press enter, then salesman phone, press enter, salesman phone, this is numerics 10 digits, press enter. So now we have created attributes, right? So it will, what happens is once you enter this, it will create all the attributes based on the attribute name and the description you have given. So once you're done creating the attributes, what we have to do, we have to activate. Click on activate button, select activate dependent info object, continue. The system will create P table, S table and M view. Okay, so it's created salesman ID, age, name, phone and address. Press F3 and back. Okay, so now we have created the info objects. So what we have to do, we have to enter the master data manually. To enter this master data manually, you have to select your primary key, that is your salesman ID, right click, select maintain master data, click on execute. So you can observe here there is no data exist, so we are entering the data manually. So you have to create button and enter your data here. Salesman ID 1, for example, salesman, age, address, phone number, continue. For one more record, salesman 2, name, age, address, phone number, continue. Address, enter the phone number, the center. Okay, once you've done this, what you have to do, click on save. So once you save this, click on go back. Okay, so you entered some data here, right? So how to check the data has been entered or saved correctly or not? For that, we have to enter the transaction code SE11, press enter. We have been told you that when you create this info object with attributes, it will create the three tables: P table, S table and M view. So what is the table name? /BIC/P and your info object name SMID1. Okay, now click on display. So it is not exist. Check it out. What is your info object name we have created? For that, click on this create new session. Go back to your modeling RSA1 and go to your info area where you have created. Expand your info object catalog. Select your salesman ID and check your technical name. This is SID1. So come back here. SID1. This is your P table. It starts with the P. Click on display. Okay. Now it has been created the info object /BIC/SID1. Okay. And it has some attributes also: name, age, address and phone number, right? So now click on contents. It's compiling. Okay, now you can see here, you can check from which record to which record you want. You can enter like record number 1, 200 or something. Otherwise you can click on execute. It will display the data which have been entered manually. So this is our data. Okay, now go back. We have tested in a P table. Now let's check in a S table. SID1. Display. Again select contents, execute. So we have this SIDs. Okay, this is your SID table. Now we need to check in your M view. Okay, remove this M SID1, display. This is your M view. Select your contents, execute. This is your M view. This is how you check the data in the tables. For that, what you have to do, you have to enter the code, transaction code SE11. Come to ABAP dictionary initial screen where you have to enter your database table name /BIC/ the different table names which starts with the P, M, S and all. This is how you check the data in the database. table. Okay, now we have created info objects and we have loaded the data manually also. Now let's create a report with the data. So what is the transaction code for that? RRMX. Press enter. It will open your BEX tool. It's take a little bit time to open the BEX tool. Okay, you can see your Microsoft Excel. The BEX tool is integrated with your Microsoft Excel. Now click on add-ins menu, then click on tools, select create new query. It's processing. Okay, now it's open the BEX query designer. Okay, this is a way how you have to open the BEX query designer. Now what we have to do, we have to create the new query. Click on this create button. New query. Okay, and click on the find. You have to search for your info object. What is your info object primary key? SID 1. Say find. It won't display any info object. No objects found. The reason is your info object is not a info provider. Under BEX query designer, and if you find out, it will display only the info providers, not info object. So what we have to do, we have to convert this info object as an info provider. Now let's see how to do that. Cancel it, minimize this, go back to your modeling screen, RSA1. Okay, so now go to info provider. Refresh. So it won't display anything. Come back to your info objects and select your info area, expand it, select your primary key, your salesman ID. Okay, when you check this, there is no information how to convert this info object as an info provider. So come back. Now we have to enter the transaction code RSI set. So what we're doing here, we are creating an info set on top of the info object. So type your info set name here. You can type anything. I'm typing here iset SM1 for example. Now click on create. Okay, you need to enter the long description and long name and short name. So the long name I'm typing here, info set for salesman master data. Okay, the short name we can type anything here. So the info area, it will be a default or it will be optional. Either you can type your info area or you can leave this option. Then the start with info provider. So what is our info provider? That is the info object, right? So select the info object, type your info object name SID 1. Now click on continue. Okay, so now it has been created our info set. Now click on activate. So it has been activated. Now go back. Now we have to select InfoSet data display icon. Okay, select the field selection for output. Select salesman ID. Now click on execute. Again execute. Okay, observe the key values of salesman ID. Now say F3 back. Okay, now go back to your Bex query. Okay, click on create new. Here you have to type your ISET, InfoSet. Okay, let's say if you don't remember the name, full name, just say ISET and say find. Okay, it will show you your ISET. This is InfoSet for salesman ID. This is what we have created. Find. Select this, say open. Okay, so it will display your you got your salesman ID and your salesman attributes. Expand it. Okay, this is your age, phone number and address. So we have converted this salesman ID as a InfoSet, right? What we need to do is now we need to arrange these info objects as per your report. So click on rows and columns. Okay, now select your primary key SMID. Okay, and drag and drop into the rows. Then select your attributes. You can select one by one or you can select all and drag and drop into rows. Okay, once you've done this part, go to your properties. Okay, under display, check the descriptions and everything. The technical name, you can say this is your technical name, salesman ID 1, and ISET SM1 underscore F1. This is your InfoSet. Okay, then display here. Okay, now check this query. Check for any errors. Okay, there is no errors for this. Now save this query. I can say this is report salesman ID 1, and you can enter the technical name SID1, anything you can type here. Save it. Once you're done saving, what you have to do, you have to execute this. Click on execute. Okay, once you click on execute, go back to your Excel screen. You can see that this will be your output. Okay, once you come back here, you can see that this is your report where you can check the filter. You can select the salesman. It will display the salesman ID, salesman age, whatever the data I have entered manually. This is your final output in your Bex query. So if you want to go back to again Bex query, click on the tools, say edit query. Earlier we have selected check query and we have executed in the web. We have another option. You can close this Bex query and execute. There is an option called exit and use the query. Click on here, you will get this screen. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back. In this example, I'm going to show you how to transfer the info object from one catalog to another catalog or any new catalog. Open your BW system, log on to your BW. You can see that I have one info object catalog, which is a characteristic info object catalog, which contains some characteristic info objects. So what I want to do here is I want to move or copy these info objects from this catalog to another catalog, either any existing catalog or you can create a new catalog. Now let me create a new catalog. Right click on your info area, select create info object catalog, enter a technical name. Let's say info object catalog. I'll say it's a target. It's your target info object catalog. Let it be a characteristic info object type because we are moving characteristic info objects, so it has to be characteristic type. So system type or name or space, you need to press enter to select cus. Okay, target is already exist. Let's say I'll enter target 1. Press enter to select cus here. The cus is nothing but a customer generated by the user. It's you. You are the person, whoever is creating this info object catalog. That person is nothing but a user here. So we already discussed about what is a system type or namespace in a previous examples. Let me explain once again here. So under system type or namespace, we have three different types of options. SAP, which is delivered by SAP, cus, generated by user, PAR, it's partner, it's nothing but SAP partners like Siemens, etc., etc. So you need to understand that here what option I need to select here. So the person, whoever is creating this object, so this is nothing but creating or generating by the user. So this object is not creating by the SAP. It's not SAP delivered. We are creating as a BW consultant. You are going to create. So it is not delivered by SAP. So this option is not available. We cannot select it. There are info objects which is delivered by SAP. Not only info object, there are lot of objects including your data targets or info providers like info cubes, DSOs. So not only that, including your Bex reports, info objects, transformations. So lot of options, lot of info objects which is required for data modeling has been already generated by SAP. We call it is SAP predefined objects. So all these objects are available under a place called BI content. This is a difference in between SAP BW data warehouse system and another data warehousing system. So non-SAP BW data warehousing system, you don't have this facility or feature where you have a predefined objects available which you can use for your modeling purpose. Only SAP BW is providing a predefined info objects as a library that is called BI content. So that information we can discuss in a coming sessions. So right now, so this object is generated by the BW consultant. So we need to select cus. Cus stands for customer. So customer is nothing but we are a customer to the SAP, because we are the people who is using this option, this package. So we are customers for SAP. So if you want to select this option, you need to press enter key on your keyboard. Press enter. Can you observe this? This option has been selected now. Once you've done this, you need to click on continue, create button. Please observe now we are creating a new info object catalog called target. So once you created this, you need to click on activate. Once it is activated, you can observe on the status bar it will display a message, object has been successfully created. You can observe here, you get a green box here. It means that the object has been activated successfully. So let's click on back button. So now you have your source info object catalog and target info object catalog. Please observe this, a target info object catalog doesn't contain any objects here. It is a blank. This is my source info object catalog, which I have a certain info objects which I want to move to this. So for this example, you should have a source and you should have a target. Please observe, always source contains the info objects which we have to move to your target catalog. So now let's move certain info objects. For that, first you need to double click and open your target info object catalog. You can observe that it opens here like this. And please observe it doesn't contain any info objects, characteristic info object. Now what I want to do is I want to call the info objects from this info object catalog. So how to do that? For that, you have a button called info object catalog. Click on this button. It will open a list of info object catalogs under one particular info area. See, you can see how many info objects catalogs under this info area you have. You have your source catalog. See, this is my source catalog, character info object for class 9. Okay, and this is my target. Let's forget about rest of all the options. So I want to move objects from this particular catalog. So double click on this catalog, which opens here, which contains info object. Expand the characteristics folder, which contains all your info objects. Now decide which info object you want to move to your characteristics. See, please observe this is your characteristic target info object catalog. So here you have a source catalog, here you have a target catalog. Very simple, you have to select the info object, just drag and drop here. If you want to drag and drop the objects to a target catalog, the first thing is you need to edit. Click on edit option. This is your edit. Click on edit button or display or change button, you can call this. Now please select the objects which you want to move. Either you can select one by one and drag and drop, or if you want to move a couple of or multiple objects at a one time, just press a control button on your keyboard, select a multiple options. Okay, this is a way how you select. Let's select all the product related info objects. So I have selected all the product related info objects. Simple, drag and drop into your characteristics folder under the target info object catalog. Okay, so now the target catalog contains the info objects which we moved from your source catalog. Once it is done, click on activate. Please observe automatically your info objects are displaying under your target catalog and it says it's successfully activated. Okay, this is a way how you move info objects from one catalog to another catalog. Okay, thank you. Hi, welcome back. This example explains to you how to load master data automatically from flat file. Let me show you how the flat file structure look like. Open your Excel sheet and create a fields SMID, name, age, address, phone number. I have created 5 columns here and contains some data. I have a 10 rows of data here. You can enter any data for sample. So you need to create an Excel sheet with the same structure just like this. Once you create it, you can keep anything in this heading. There is no mandatory that it has to be starting with a Z letter or Z letter or any other letters. So you can enter any letter or any name, whatever the way you can understand for to loading the data from the file to your BW system. But do not start with any heading with the numbers like 0. Okay, please start with a letter. So once you enter the data like this, you need to save this Excel file as a CSV format, that is comma separated value. Click on this menu bar, click on save as. Here you need to enter any name and it should be comma separated value. You have to select from save as type CSV comma separated value. Then click on save. This is a way how you need to save your file. This is going to be your flat file for loading the data from your flat file to BW system. Now close your Excel sheet or Excel file. Now come back to your BW system. In your BW system, first thing you need to create your info area, or if you have already created, for example in a catalog certain info objects. So you have to create like this, or if you are already created you can use existing one. So for this example I have created a salesman ID, name, age, address and phone number. So except salesman ID, rest of all these info objects are attributes which have created under salesman ID. Let me show you that. Double click on your salesman ID. Please follow our previous examples how to create attributes. You can understand this part. So go to attributes tab. Please observe that we have created name, age, address and phone number. So I have created under salesman ID. So you have to create in the same way. So first thing what you have to do, create a salesman ID info object. Under this info object, go to attributes tab. Under this tab, please create name, age, address and phone number, 4 info objects. Once you created all these things, click on activate. So once you activate, it will display like this. So you have to make sure that you have the same settings. Once everything is same here, so what we need to do is we have to create a data source. So how to create a data source? So what is the data source here? The data source is nothing but I want to connect to my flat file which is located in my computer. So for that we need to create an option called data source. That is one of the modeling object. So what exactly in this data source we're going to set up? Let's check it out. Select your data source. Once you select your data source, it will display a list of application components. So what is an application component? An application component is nothing like your info area. It is like a folder object. Folder like an object. So which going to hold all your data sources which you're going to create. So if you want to create a data source, you need to create application component. Under application component only we have to create a data source. Either you can create a new application component or you can use an existing application component to create your data sources. So it is also just like in a folder, like an object. See, if you want to create an info object, first we have created an info area. Under this we have created an info object catalog. Let me show you that. For example, if you open here, if I want to create an info object, the first thing is what I'm doing here is I have to create an info area, right? This is my info area. Under this info area, so what we did is we have created an info object catalog. This is an info object catalog. Under this info object catalog, I have created a info objects. So this info area is nothing but a folder, and this info object catalog is nothing but a folder again. Under this we have created, because we are organizing the object. This is a way how you can organize. This is the main reason why we're creating info area, info object catalog, and info objects. Okay, so the similar way, if you want to create a data source, so first thing is what I need to do is I need to make sure that I need to create the application component. Under application component, then I need to create a data source. So this is my data source. So your application component acting like a folder here. Under this I can create a number of data sources. This is similar way. I can create any number of data sources. So all my data sources will be under one particular folder. No need to search for me. It is very easy to locate. This is the main reason why we're creating a application component. So this is your application component, and these are all your data sources, where you can organize all your data sources under a folder like object called application component. Is it clear now? Let's go back to your BW. So first, how to create an application component. Select data sources from under modeling. Right click on the header. Before right clicking on this header, you need to make sure that what is a flat file system you have selected. You need to make sure that you have selected a flat file system, whatever you have created. So earlier we have created a flat file called PC_3. I am selecting the same. Right click on your header of data source. Select the option create application component. It is going to ask you a technical name and description. Let's say that this is going to be application component AC. I can say this is for class 1. Okay, so it's already existing here. I can say this is a application component for master data flat file. So application component for master data loading from flat file. Once you've done this, entering your technical name and description, click on a continue. Now you can observe that your application component has been created here. Under this, you need to start creating your data sources. So how do I create a data source? It's very simple. Right click on your application component, create a data source. A data source is nothing but it is like we're going to mention how to connect to my flat file. So in this example, my flat file is my Excel file. So once you say create a data source, it's going to ask you what is a technical name. So please enter your technical name. For example, this is a data source. I can say this is a master data flat file 1. And it's going to ask you what is a source system you're going to connect. I'm going to connect my flat file source system called PC_3. And now it's going to ask you what is a data type data source. What is a data type data source here? What does it mean? It means that what type of data do you want to store or do you want to connect? So what type of data? Which we already discussed, there are two types of data, master data or transaction data. So my flat file says it is a master data. So select the option called master data Since I have attributes, I'm loading attributes data as well. You need to select master data attributes. Select the option, make sure technical name PC_3, which automatically selects. If you are loading a master data attributes, you need to select master data attributes. If you are loading text, you need to select master data text. Okay, for this example, we are loading master data attributes. Select data type data source, click on continue. Now it's going to ask you, please enter some description here. I can say this is going to be master data attributes data source, okay, or loading master data attributes. This is a short description, medium description, long description. You can enter whatever the requirement you have here. Now the next tab is extraction, which is very important. Select this extraction tab. Please make sure that we're going to discuss about all these options in coming sessions. Okay, so no need to worry about this. Let's come to the little bit below. Here we have an option called adapter. Please make sure that you are loading a file from your local workstation. Since you're loading a file from local workstation, you need to select this load a text type file from local workstation. Now it is going to ask you, how do you want to connect to your data? How do you want to connect to your file? So if I want to connect to my file, which is located in my local workstation or my PC or my laptop, then I should know what is the path of my file. Then only I can connect to it. So let's give path to the BW to go ahead and find to a connect to your flat file system. So how I can do? Under file name, you have a button called browser. Click on this button. It's going to help you how to select your file. So click on desktop. My file is under desktop, a folder called flat files. Double click on it. This is my file, this salesman attributes. Select your file, click on open. Now it will take a complete path where exactly your flat file is located, with including an extension. So now you're going to give this path to the BW to connect to my flat file. So this is what exactly I'm doing in a data source. The purpose of creating a data source, I'm providing a path to BW system to connect to a flat file which is located in my local workstation. So this is what the purpose of your data source. Once you provide this, there is an option called header rows to be ignored. Please press 1 because we don't want to load the data with header. Then what is the data format of this data? Because it's coming from Excel sheet, we have saved the Excel sheet as a CSV format. We need to select separated with separator, for example CSV, and the data will be always separated by comma. So once you've done this option, please click on proposal. So this proposal option will give you, if you want to make this screen larger or full screen, you have an option called navigation. Click on this, it makes a big screen for you. Now under proposal tab, please observe that you have a button called load example data. So what exactly it's doing here, please make sure that you need to observe one thing very clearly here. We are not loading the data here. We are just getting a proposal of the data from your flat file. So physically still the data is not loaded into BW system. Don't get confusion here. If you click on this load example data, data never loads here. We are just getting only example data, how it looks like in your Excel sheet. Click on load example data. It shows that every data has been separated with a comma, and it is going to show you what is your fields available in your Excel sheet. Please observe it is a name, age, phone and address. These are not your info objects. If you observe, these are not the info objects which we have created. If you want to verify that, please again click on show navigator and go to your info objects. Please observe what is your info object technical name. SID27 is my technical name, but here it's showing SMID. What does it mean? So this is not the info object. These fields technical name coming from your flat file, not from your BW. Is it clear now? So this is a way how you need to understand. So it's giving you how the structure look like in your Excel sheet. Once you're done, you have to go to the fields tab. Under this fields tab, what we need to do is we need to map these fields. This is your Excel sheet fields. You need to map these fields with your info objects which you have created in BW. Okay, so how do I map this? For that you should know what is the technical name of your info object. So make sure that your info object technical names are displaying for you. So right now I want to map this with my SMID 27. How to do that? Just select info object, say SID 27. Press enter. Please observe that it says that copy field properties from the info object. Existing entries may be overwritten. Do not select this. Do not show this option again. Click on copy. Please observe this. Your Excel sheet field format has been changed to a BW format. Now it is displays /BIC/SID27. This is called transformation. I'm transforming the data format from the source format into a destination format. This is my destination. Earlier it was displaying as SMID. Now it is displaying as SID as my target format. This is my target technical name. Please observe. Now here it is name. Once I map the date field with my info object called sname27, automatically the Excel format will be converted into BW format. Let's check it out. sname27. Press enter. Please observe it's automatically converted. This is called transformation. So what is a transformation? A transformation is nothing but converting the data format from source format into a destination format. Here a source format is your Excel sheet. A destination format is your BW. That is called transformation. Now let's do for the rest of the field. It is age27, yes, address 27, yes, phone 27. Once you done everything, now expand the screen. Now click on preview. Under this preview, now it is going to show you exactly the structure of your Excel sheet. Click on read preview data. Before clicking on read preview data, you have to activate your data source. Either you can click on here or you can cancel this. You can click on here. So let's click on this, activate. Once you click on read preview data, the data will be displayed exactly how it looks like in your flat file. So this is a process of creating your data source. Once your data source is completed, just click on go back. Now go to your data sources. Please observe that your data source has been ready. Now your info objects are ready, your data source is ready. The next step is you need to create a data target. So I am going to show you how to create a data target for master data. To create a data target for your master data loading, you have to go to info providers under your modeling, then select info area, right click on it. Especially for master data, you have to select option called insert characteristic as info provider. Here it is going to ask you what is your info object technical name. It is SID27. Then press continue. Once you press continue, it will automatically displays a data target for you. Click on continue. Now please observe that it will create a data target for you under your info area with attributes. This is going to be your data target. So now what we need to do is right click on your data target, create a transformation. So here it is going to ask you that target of the transformation, source of the transformation. Target is already created because we have selected the target. That's the reason all the fields will be automatically filled up here. The object type is going to be info object. That's a technical name. We are loading attributes data. So these target information will be filled up by the system. The source information we need to fill up. So what is the source for us? It is a data source. So what is your data source technical name? To find out this data source technical name, you need to go cancel this, go back, click on data source, you can find out. Otherwise, ds underscore mdff1, this is our data source. The source system is going to be pc underscore Sri. Click on continue. It will create a transformation for you. It will be automatically mapped with the fields because we did the mapping at the time of data source creation. So no need to worry about this one. Please check it out whether the fields has been mapped perfectly or not. SMID to SMID, name to name, age to age, address to address, phone to phone. Once it is perfect, click on activate. Once the transformation is activated, click on F3 or back button. Come back here. It will show your transformation. Automatically it will create your data transfer process folder. Expand your transformation. It will show you your data source name. So once you create a transformation, then right click on your info object, select display data flow. It will show you three options. How do you want to display? By default it will be downwards. Click on continue. Expand this. This is what your data flow. From source system we have created a data source. From the data source we have created attributes and we have created in between a transformation. This is your data target. This data target is under an info object called SMID. So this is a way how you can check your data flow. Close your data flow button. Come back here. Expand this. You have your transformation. The next step is select data sources. Select your data source. Please observe still it shows a dot button here. The reason is still it's not refreshed. So what you have to do is click on refresh button. It will show you options for you. Expand this. Expand data flow upwards. Now you can see your transformation. So now what you need to do, right click on your data source. Create info package. You need to enter info package description here. No need to enter any technical name. Info package for master data loading. This is your data source technical name. Now click on save. Please observe your info package has been created. Click on schedule tab. There is a two option. Do you want to start data load immediately or do you want to start in the background later? If you select this option, automatically it will display a window for you where you can schedule your data loading. For training purpose, we are selecting start immediately, start load immediately. Once you click on start button, the data will be extracted from the data source into BW system. This is a place where the data will be loaded into BW. Please observe. Please carefully observe here. This is called info package. At the time of info package creation, when you click on the start button, your data will be loaded into a BW, a place called PSA, persistence staging area. Now click on start. Now please observe the data was requested. The message has been displayed. Now how to check the data has been loaded into BW or not? Okay, there is an option called monitor. You need to click on the monitor icon where it will take you to the monitoring screen that is called monitor info package. Please observe on what date you have loaded the data. This is my system date. It is not the right date. Today's date is a different. And select your request. This is your latest request. At this so-and-so time I have loaded the data. Once you selected request, please observe that 10 records has been loaded. Select your request, then click on PSA maintenance. Before clicking on this, please observe here request successfully loaded data to PSA. Diagnosis, request successfully loaded to PSA. It means that data has been loaded into PSA. That is called persistence staging area. If you want to check the data, you need to click on PSA maintenance icon. Click on this PSA maintenance icon. It will display the number of records has been loaded into BW. Click on continue. This is your data under PSA. The same data, if you want to check, click on start button, open your Excel sheet. Click on a file. This is my data. If you want to verify, please check. This is the data what we loaded. Exactly the same age and same address and same phone numbers. Okay, so the same data. So the data has been loaded successfully from your flat file. So what is the next step now? Just go back to your modeling screen. Still your info package is grayed out. Click on refresh button. Now it is in active state. So you have loaded the data from the data source into BW. Now we need to send this data to data target. So how do I do that? Right click on your data source. There is an option called create data transfer process. Now the data will be transferred from the PSA to data target. Okay, so what is a data target for us? The data target, please observe, this is a target. Info object attribute is your data target and source is your data source. These information will be filled up automatically, and you can observe here, this is your data source technical name, and this is your source system, and this is your target. This is how the data will be moving. Standard data type is standard DTP. Can be scheduled as well. Click on continue. Please observe here, expand the screen. There are three tabs available: extraction, update, execute. The first tab, it displays extraction mode. There are two types of extraction modes available, full and delta. If you are loading the data first time, you have to select full option, because I want to load all the records. That is a full. Once you loaded the data first time, the next time onwards, if you want to load only updated or newly created or modified or deleted records, then I need to select delta. This is the difference in between delta and full load. So for this example, we are loading the first time the data, so we need to select full load. Once you click on full load, the extraction mode, click on execute. Please observe the execute button is grayed out. It is not in active state. You need to click on active. You need to activate your DTP. Then your execute button will be in active state. Now please observe it's become an active. So once you click on execute, the data will be transferred from PSA into data target. Click on DTP. Please observe the request generated by the DTP will now be processed. Do you want to display the request monitor? Yes. Click on yes. We need to see the monitor. You can check this, all are green check boxes. So it means that the data loaded successfully. You can observe one package has been created with 10 records. If you want to see the data into your data target, there is a button called Administer Data Target. Please click on this button. You can observe this. There are three tabs contains here. Contents. It displays what are the contents are available under this. It is nothing but your info objects. Request tab. It provides what is a data load request. This number will be randomly generated by the system. So this is your load request number, and this information, this icon will say that the request is available for reporting. So the data is ready for reporting now. It means that if it displays green, the request loaded successfully. And this is your monitor icon and DTP information, the data loading date and time, how many records has been loaded, how many records has been modified or transferred or added, what type of DTP. This is the proper information. So you need to concentrate here. How many records transferred, how many records added. These are very important. If there is any problem, it will display inconsistency in this. So if these two numbers should be always same, okay, then the data has been loaded successfully. Now if you want to check the data, then you need to select salesman ID, which is your data target. Click on contents tab. Now it is going to ask you from which number to which number you want to display. If you want to display the records based on some filter values, you can enter the data here. Otherwise, if you want to display all the records, click on execute. Now it will display 10 records for you. The records or the data is available under your data target. This is a way how you load the data into your data target. This is how we can load master data from the flat file into BW system. Click on back button, just go back. Now you can observe here contents. You have also contents button here. You can click on this. You can execute directly from here itself. Okay, you have two options. Either you can click on request, select your data target, click on a contents, or click on a contents, select contents options. This is a two places where you can check your data. Thank you very much. Hi guys, welcome back. In this exercise, I'm going to show you how to load a text data from flat file into SAP BW. Open your BW system. If you take a previous example, which we have loaded a master data from the flat file, go to the data source. You can observe here, this is a one data source we have, which we have created for master data. Now go to info provider, check your info provider. Here under salesman ID, I have only attributes data target. The reason because we have selected only attributes to load the data. Now in this example, we're going to select with text to load the text data. So how to do that? For that you need to select info objects. Double click on your primary info object. Click on edit. Select with data or text or master data or text. Please observe here with text has been unchecked. So please check this button. Automatically you can observe the text table has been generated. Whatever the data you're loading into a text, that text table will be stored under this technical name. So by default it will be selected as short text. You need to select medium, long, depends on your requirement. If a requirement says only one option, you can select one. If a requirement says three, you have to select short text, medium text, long text, then you have to select all these three options. For this example, I'm selecting all the three options. Now click on activate. You get an option here, the messaging screen. Click on continue. Click on yes. Now it shows you're activated successfully. Now click on F3. Now go to info provider. You can click on refresh, or you can just select this one, say refresh option this. Now you can observe the text target is displaying here. So now the text target is ready for you. So for that, what we need to do, we have to create a data source. Select your data source, select your application component, right click on it, select create data source, enter a technical name, data source, text. The source system is going to be same. The data type data source, since we are loading master data text, you have to select master data text option. This is your type of data source. Click on continue. You need to enter the description here. Master data text data source for SID 27. Select copy, paste it. Now go to extraction tab. As we did a previous example, directly go to the file name. You need to point out where is your text file. Okay, before that I'm going to show you how the text file look like. Click on start button, open your Microsoft Excel. Click on menu, open, go to desktop, flat files. It should open all your files here. Click on all files. Now I can look for, this is my text file. Open it. It shows this is how your text file format. So I have selected a language which is English and my primary info object which has to be there, because with this primary info object only I'm going to enter the text. For salesman 1, this is going to be short, medium, long text. For salesman 2, this is going to be the text. So on, it goes till salesman 10. So once you create the data in the similar format, save your Microsoft Excel file as .csv, comma separator, then close this file. Now let's point out our flat file. Click on browse. Where is your text file? This is my text file. Click on open. It takes complete path of your flat file location. Now header rows to be ignored. 1. Data format supposed to be separated with separator CSV, and data separator should be comma. Once you done this, click on proposal. As we discussed in a previous example, the proposal will show you only example data. It's not going to load the data. Click on load example. It is how the data look like in your flat file. Click on fields. Okay, now you can map the fields here, or you can map the fields at the time of transformation. Now let me show you how to map the fields here. You need to, for language, there is already predefined info object has been created by SAP. Let's use that one. It starts with the 0, LANGU. Press enter. Automatic it will become LANGU. SMID is your SID 27. Okay, automatically the format has been changed. Now for the short text, it's supposed to be 0txt sh. This is a SAP predefined info object. Press enter. Automatically the format has been changed here. Please observe. MD text, it is 0txt MD. Press enter. And long text, it's supposed to be 0txt LG. Press enter. Once you map the fields, go to preview tab. Before clicking on read preview data, let's activate this data source. Click on activate. You get the status message, data source activated. Now click on read preview data. This is how your text file look like. The data look like exactly as per your text file. Once you've done this option, now your data source is ready and your data target is ready. So what we need to do? We need to create transformation. Go to your info provider, select your data target. This is a text. Right click on it, create a transformation. Now the transformation is target of the transformation, your info object SID 27, but it is going to be text type of data. The source is going to be data source. This is ds_t1. Source system PC_3. Once you've done this part, click on continue. Now observe the language has been mapped to language, SID to SID, short text to short text, medium to medium, long to long. Once it is perfectly fine, click on activate. Now observe that the transformation has been created here. Click on back button. So now we need to create info package. So go to data source. Please observe still it shows a dot button. You need to click on refresh. Now you can see the arrow mark. Now it has your transformation. Okay. Now let's select your data source. Right click on it. Create info package. Enter a description of your info package. Info package for text data loading. Click on save. Directly go to schedule tab. As we already discussed about these two options in previous example, click on start. Now you can see the status bar, data was requested. To check the data, go to monitor. Select your request. Click on PSA maintenance. Shows number of records. Click on continue. Now it will display how the data has been loaded into PSA. Now the data is available under PSA. Now we need to send this data to data target. Go back, press back button. Still your info package in not active state. Click on refresh. Right click on your data source. Now we need to create DTP, data transfer process, to transfer the data from PSA to your data target. Click on DTP. The DTP fields will be automatically filled up by the system. This is your target of DTP is info object, SMID, that is your SID27, the text data target. A source is going to be your data source, the technical name of your data source, and source system. Click on continue. Select extraction tab. Extraction mode supposed to be full. We already discussed about this in a previous example. Now click on execute tab. Execute button is not activate. Click on activate your DTP. Your execute button will be activated automatically. See, now click on execute button. It says, do you want to display the request monitor? Yes. You can observe all the data loaded successfully. Click on data target administrator to check the data. It is your load request ID number. Data is available for reporting. Number of records transferred 10. Added 10 records. Select your data target. Click on contents. Click on execute. Now please observe the data is displaying your master data along with your text data, because we map this text data with your salesman number. When I map with the salesman number, wherever I call the salesman number, automatically the attributes will follow the salesman ID, because these are all dependent info objects of your salesman ID. Now you can see the full data of your salesman master data along with attributes and with the text, right? See, this is the names or mapping exactly. Kiran, Vamsi, Kumar. Okay, this is how you need to load the text data type into your BW system from the flat file. Thank you. Hi guys, welcome back. In this example, I'm going to show you how to load master data hierarchies. We have already done how to load a text data and master data. Now we're going to learn how to load hierarchies, master data hierarchies from the flat file. And in this example, I'm going to show you how to create attributes as a display or navigation attributes. Okay, Let's check it out. So before creating your hierarchies, we need to understand how this hierarchy structure has been created in BW system. For example, let's take we have one organization here that's going to be headquarter. So first this headquarter will call its level 1. So by the system it will automatically takes one info object that is called SAP predefined info object called 0 hire underscore node. So this one you have to use for your flat file. Then the next level, for example, organization has two different locations, north and south. So this is called level 2, where we can say it's a sales region, which we have to create an info object for this. And under each location you have two different sub locations again. This is called level 3. We can say it's a sales office, which you have to create a info object for this. And under each sub location we have a different salesman working under particular locations. So we already created a salesman ID for this. This is called level 4. We don't need to create any new info object. Like this, we can create up to 98 levels in SAP BW. Okay. So once you create a hierarchies, what happens? It will create some tables for you in a BW system. So this is called hierarchies table /BIC/H table, K table, I table, J table. Okay. Now let me show you how the hierarchy flat file structure look like. This is how your hierarchies flat file look like. So we need to first create node ID. So the order will be anywhere. It's not like it has to be starting from node ID or info object. You can keep it anywhere. So first I have taken as a node ID, it's going to be your number of records. Then I have taken info object as a column. So this is a predefined info object name which I have taken. This is a top level of your hierarchy. Then I have certain info object called region, which I have used this for previous example, which we need to change here. So we have a SMID is SID27. So according to the present example or present task, you need to change this in case if you have already existing flat file. Otherwise, this in real time, this flat file will be provided by your business users. So no need to worry about how to create a flat file in the real time. It will be provided to you, but practicing purpose, please follow this the structure, whatever I'm going to show you here. So this is my SIDs. Please observe here also I need to change SID27. Then here also SID27, and here also SID27. So now we need to create region. So we don't know what is the name we're going to create, so remove this. So it should be region. This is the previous example we have created. So now let's create a sales region and sales office for. So go back to your data modeling screen of your BW. Now select info objects. Now let's create your sales office and region, two info object. So these two info objects not supposed to be your attributes. So select your info object catalog, right click on it, create info object, enter a technical name. It's going to be soffice_27. Let's say sales office. Okay, go to general tab, select category, characters, data type. Let's say it's going to be 15 characters. Activate. Now it's activated successfully. Click on back. You can see your sales office created. The similar way, let's create region. Right click on info object catalog, select create info object. This is going to be sales region _27. Sales region. Press enter. Data type, character, length, 15 digits. Click on activate. Now we have created two info objects. Once it is activated, click on back button. Now your sales office and region is ready. Now we need to make these two should be used for hierarchy purpose. First thing, we need to activate the hierarchy option on your primary info object. Double click on your SMID. Now go to hierarchies tab. Click on change button. Check with hierarchies. You can observe automatically the green check boxes appear. If you uncheck, it will not be there. So we need to make this activated. So if you check this one, now I can start loading hierarchies data. The first thing is I need to define what are the external characteristics I'm going to use for this hierarchies purpose. So these are the two external characteristics. What does it mean by external? The reason because I'm not adding these two info objects as attributes to this. So that these two will be automatically becomes external characteristics. So click on external characters. Now we need to look for these two characters. So it is called, search for it, S office underscore 27. Okay, now close this. You got this 27. Move. Similar way, look for S region underscore 27. Close this. Select this. Move to external characters. So now click on continue. So now I defined that there are two external characteristics which I am going to use for my hierarchies data loading. Once you've done this process, click on activate. Once your info object is activated, now go back. Now we need to observe what is the data target for your hierarchies. Click on info provider. Now if you observe, I have only two options. Select your salesman ID. Click on refresh. Now I got my hierarchies as a data target. So now my hierarchies are ready. Now I need to create a data source. Select your data source. Select your application component. Right click on it. Create data source. Enter your data source technical name. Data source hierarchy. So now the data type of your data source is going to be hierarchies data, which you need to select hierarchies. Click on continue. It says it's already exists, so we need to change the name here. For example, let's say 27. Click on continue. Now please enter data source for hierarchies loading. Copy, paste into long and medium. This is not a mandatory. Whatever the requirement you have, you need to enter exactly the same description. Only for training purpose, I'm just copying and pasting here. Now select extraction tab. Now expand this. Please observe here, it will be little different comparing other data sources. I'll show you what is the difference. Now point out where is your flat file. So the my flat file is, this is my flat file. Before pointing out, we need to make sure in your flat file you have to enter your info object technical name, that is called sreg underscore 27. This is s of underscore 27. sreg underscore 27, s of underscore 27. Okay, you need to make sure that you have to enter this. Then click on save. Yes. Click on close. No. Okay, that is what your hierarchy flat file. So now let's check it out once again. Where is your hierarchy flat file? Open this. Click on menu. You can see sman underscore hierarchy. Where it is located, it will display the information also. Just click on this. Look for it is located under your desktop. Select once again to check the data, sreg underscore. Go back to your info objects. Select your info object. look for your technical name, SOFF SREG. Okay, it's perfectly fine. Now expand this, minimize this, SOFF SREG. Once it is perfectly fine, close this. Now go back to your BW system. Now let's point to the file. It is located on your desktop. Click on this, click on the desktop button. Here you have an option called your flat file, salesman hierarchies, SMAN. This is your flat file. Select your flat file, click on open. Header rows to be ignored 1. Now please observe here little down. If you come here, the target info object is going to ask you. You have to enter your target info object is going to be SID 27. Now you have to create a header for this hierarchy file. You can write any header here. I can say this is SID 27 hierarchies. Hierarchies for, I can enter here SID 27. Click on save. So your header has been created now. Now go to file structure. Please observe there is no mapping option here. You need to look for the file structure which has been created by the system. Okay, if you want to generate an example file from this structure, you can create. It will create one Excel file for you. Now click on segment, fields or tab. Please observe the hierarchy headers look like this. You have a description which look like this. You have structure. This is a structure of your hierarchies. This is a description for text, short text, medium and long text. Now click on a preview, activate, click on yes. Once the data source activated, click on read preview data. Please observe it won't display the data for you. You need to select your segment. Click on description, click on structure, then it will display the data for you. Okay, this is how the data will be displayed. If you observe here, the data has displayed into one particular field called info object with all the commas. So there is some mistake we made here. We need to find out what exactly the mistake we have created. Since it is displaying all the data into one single info object, so we have not separated the data by the comma. So that is, you need to set up back. Click on extraction tab. If you observe that the data format we have not selected here. So the data format is supposed to be hierarchy separated by separator. Now it will display a comma for you. Okay, please observe. You need to select data format, hierarchy separated by separator, the comma. Now click on file structure, segments, preview. Now click on read preview data. Now it is displaying proper way, right? So this is how it will display. This is exactly as per your flat file. Once everything is ready, click on activate again. Click on continue. Once the data source is activated successfully, just go back. Now my data source is ready. Select your data source. This is your hierarchy data source is ready. So now go to info provider, right click on your data target, create a transformation. So select your data source, ds underscore HIR, it's going to be 27, PC underscore 3. Click on continue. Expand. Now you can observe it will display only one option for you. You need to click on source segment. Look for the different structure of your hierarchy. If you select your hierarchy structure, now it will display exactly how the info objects has been mapped with your info objects. You can observe here. Okay, so here you need to check one thing. You need to map your info objects with your info object data source. So drag and drop this, drag and drop. This is your info objects. So once you mapped it, click on activate. Continue. Once the transformation activated successfully, go back. You can see the transformation. Now go to data source, refresh, right click on your data source, create info package. Say info package for hierarchy data loading. So click on save. This is the header which you have created there. Select your header. Check any extraction. Is there any mistakes or everything is perfectly fine? Okay, now everything is good. Select your header. Processing tab. Please observe that you have a processing option, so only PSA. If you check this one, it will show you what is the options or displays here for you. Click on update tab, full update, click on schedule. Start. It says the data was requested. Click on monitor. Select your request. 13 records has been loaded. Click on PSA. Please observe here it will display only one record. Don't get panic here because it has different structures of segment. This is header. You need to select structure. It displays 13 records. Click on continue. Now it will display this is your hierarchy data in your PSA. Now we need to send this to our data target. Go back, click on refresh, right click on data source, select create data transfer process. It will automatically fill up all the fields. Click on continue. Expand this, select extraction, select the full option, update. It will be full update. Activate hierarchy should be checked. Please observe this too. Then go to execute tab, activate your DTP, click on execute button. Click on execute button, select yes, refresh, wait for some time. Now it throws an error for you. Data package 1 error. Expand this, update hierarchies for characteristics. Click on error message. Data package processing has been terminated. So there is a problem in your data coming from PSA. This is what we need to troubleshoot. Okay. Close this option. Expand this. Now just come down a little bit. Here it will display a proper message for you. Okay. Here it will display SID2 already exists as a child node to 10. So there is already exist information is there. Okay. So let's check it out. For characteristics, SREG 2027, it's already exist. Okay. So click on this. It will give you full information for you. The node ID 11 and 12 have the same nodes as node name SID2. This is not allowed because both nodes are leaves or child nodes of the same parent node. Note that maximum 50 characters is available for message variables. So what is the procedure? What we need to do? Try to localize the problem. We can identify the two duplicate nodes for node ID 11 and 12. Okay, so this is a problem. So we have mapped in a different way. So how do we fix this error? Let's check it out. So the problem is we have mapped this same node for all the things to your info object. So what we need to do first thing here, we need to check the mapping first. So we need to go back. Okay, check your transformation. Under transformation, expand this, select your source and structure. So this is a mistake we made. It's supposed to be node name, not info object. So select this, delete option. Right click on it, say delete it. So change this option, select delete. Okay, select delete, select and delete. Now you have to map from node name to your info object. Once you're done, click on check any errors. Okay, no errors found. Click on activate. Now go back. Now select your DTP, double click on it, expand, click on execute, delete the previous one. Now click on this, refresh. Now everything is green. It successfully loaded the data. Click on the data target administrator. Okay, now observe that this is come back to your SMID. Once it comes back to your SMID info object, select your hierarchies tab. There is an option called maintain hierarchies. When you click on this one, whatever the header you have created, it will display here. Now you need to double click and open your hierarchies header. Once you open this, you can find your hierarchies data. See now, this is south data and north data. This is how it will display your hierarchies data. Okay, now just go back. Let's see how the data flow look likes. Go back, select your info provider, right click on your salesman ID. This is a primary info object. Select display data flow, click on downwards. Now expand this. Please observe, this is your data flow. This is your source system, then connected to 3 data sources, one for hierarchy, one for master data attributes, and one for text. If you want to see the technical name of these every single object, there is a button called technical name on or off. Click on it. Now it will display all the technical name. See, it's a PC underscore Sri, DI underscore HIR, MDFF1, TX1. Now it's created to the 3 data targets by using a transformation. Finally all the data goes to your SMID. This is your data flow. Now click on close this option. This is how you load the master data, hierarchies, attributes and text file. So with this example, we have completed how to deal your master data loading into BW by using flat file, especially Excel sheet. Thank you very much. Hi guys, welcome back. In this example, I'm going to explain to you how to check the data in PSA tables and P table, S table, T table and M view. So once you load the data, especially master data, the data will be loaded into your PSA tables and there are other master data related tables and there is a one view. The data will be stored under these tables in your backend database. So how do we check the data tables from your BW system? Okay, in a previous example, we have loaded a master data into a data target. So if you want to check the PSA table, the first thing is you need to find out what is a PSA table name. So to find out your PSA table name, first you need to select data sources under modeling. Then select a data source which PSA table you want to check. Double click on it. Once you double click on it,